I returned from a 2-week trip to find my entire life had been sold. The house key didn't fit. My name was scraped off the mailbox. My mother and sister were waiting in the driveway, their smiles tight and rehearsed. "You're home early," my mother said. I pointed past her. "The shutters. They're the wrong color." My sister let out a short laugh. "That's because it's not your house anymore." They both stared, hungry for my reaction, for tears, for rage. I just smiled. A small, calm smile. "What is wrong with you?" My sister snapped. "Are you even listening? You have nowhere to go." I looked from her to my mother. "I'm just appreciating the irony," I said. My mother crossed her arms. "What irony? We sold it." "We needed the cash to clear your sister's debts. All $214,000 of them." I nodded slowly. "And you never thought to include me in that decision?" "You always preach family first," my sister sneered. "We decided to take you seriously." They were waiting for me to break. But I was the one who had set the trap. It began half a year ago. Another family dinner, another crisis my sister had created. My mother, as always, made excuses. That was the night I finally saw it. This wasn't love, it was a sickness. I had bailed her out before, but that night I promised myself it was the final time. A few weeks later, I spotted anomalies. Unfamiliar queries on my property portfolio. My mother's email on documents she should never see. I thought I was being paranoid until I discovered a draft. Power of attorney letter with a signature. That wasn't mine. The chill that went through me was permanent. I didn't say a word. I just watched. For months, I tracked their movements, their hushed conversations. They thought I was oblivious. That's the danger of family. They mistake your silence for surrender. I acted quietly. I moved the genuine deed to a blind trust. The documents my mother had stolen were for a decoy title, an old filing for the adjacent vacant lot. I'd bought years ago under a separate corporate entity. The addresses were nearly identical, but the legal parcels were completely different. Their forgery was perfect because I had made sure it would be. They believed they were selling my home. In reality, they were selling empty air. My vacation wasn't a vacation. It was the final phase. I needed them to complete the transaction, to create an unbroken chain of evidence. Proof of the forged signature, the fraudulent sale, the tax evasion. Their mockery today was just background noise. I was waiting for the right question. "How can you be so calm?" my mother finally asked, her confidence cracking. "Because," I said, pulling a folded document from my inner pocket.
"I personally referred the buyer to you." The air went still. "You're lying," my sister whispered. I handed her the paper. Read the acquisition date. Her face lost all its color. This says the transfer happened over a year ago." "Correct," I said. "The house you sold hasn't been mine for a long time. The sale was fraudulent. The money is already flagged. The buyer reports to me." My mother's voice shook. "You wouldn't dare." "I didn't have to," I replied coldly. "The evidence does all the talking." I pressed play on my phone. Their voices, clear and cruel, filled the space between us. "He'll be destroyed. Let him suffer." My sister's eyes went wide with horror. "You recorded us?" "I filed the report this morning," I said. "Forgery, fraud, conspiracy. This isn't about revenge. It's about making sure you can't do this to anyone else. We're your family." My mother pleaded. "You can't do this." I looked at the house I'd grown up in one last time. "You already did. The police arrived by dusk. I didn't watch them get taken away. I turned and walked to the nearly identical house next door. The real one untouched. I unlocked the door and stepped inside. The smile was gone from my face. I didn't need it anymore. Some betrayals can't be settled with money. They demand a different currency,